Okay, one other point I wanted to make. From what I've been reading and what I found out, when you're hooking your water source up, they say that on these heat exchangers, you got your hot water coming in and flowing through, and then your hot water leaving. They say that your water's in on this side, so you want your cold water to come in on this side, so that they cross each other inside of the heat exchanger, making the water more effective of its heating up temperature. It heats up a little quicker and make your flow go against the opposite direction of what your hot water is coming in. And I did mark it down here cold. Of course, we'll always remember, but you never know. So just wanted to make that quick point. Okay, now that we're warmed up, I think we've got everything pretty warm. The temperature hose, I've got a heat gun. The heat gun, I wanted to show you what the temperature is of the water coming in. So we're about 123 degrees coming in after it's already gone through the heater core hoses. And then I'll hit the unit. And the water must be a little warmer than that because it's actually 150 degrees going through the heat exchanger. So, and I had a little leak here. I didn't have my fitting tight enough. So you can see that the heat exchanger gets plenty hot. On one side is 150, if you can see that. Over here on the hose, on our bucket of water, I put the water in earlier. That says 32. Still says 32, and it's pretty cold. I did turn it on for 1 second just to prime the system, which pulled a lot of water out of the system and filled up the hoses. Now, one thing that I'm going to have to change, I'm going to fix, is this head. I thought this was a off-on head, but it happens to be just a change of the water. You want to be able to shut your water off as you're taking a shower, unless your water source is in a creek or a lake where you've got consistent water. But you might want to get a head that will turn that off. So we'll turn it on. I'll just lay that there for now. We've already got our pump hooked up. I don't have it hooked up to a switch because I don't plan on mounting it inside the vehicle. This is kind of the beauty of not having it in the vehicle. Once it gets up to its operating pressure, if that head would turn off, the pump will turn off itself. And now we have that on. The pump is running. It's pulling water through our bucket, pulling water through our system, and now water's coming out our shower head. This is what I'm saying. It just changes the flow of the water. And that's a lot of water. We'll just do a little test. It's warm. It's not hot water. It's fairly warm. That is definitely warm enough to take a shower. If you're camping and you're up in the mountains, definitely warm enough. It's not super hot. One of the things that will heat that water up will be if you have an electric fan, you can turn your electric fan off on your motor and let your radiator get a little bit hotter. As to where this is a flex fan, you can rev your RPMs up just a little bit and see. Now we'll go ahead and gun this. We'll see what that is. That's 65 degree water. That's not bath water, but it's very warm. Still 65 degrees, and remember we were 32 degrees coming out of the barrel. So I'm going to turn the pump off for 1 second. Put that there for now, and you can see that in just about a minute or so how much water is actually filled up in the bucket. You come look at this bucket, and you can see 5 gallons is not going to last very long. One of the main things is, as I just realized, is priming the system. A lot of it's going to depend on how much hose you have. We have an awful lot of hose here, so chances are, show me some hose. The chances are what we'll do is we'll take this hose and we might cut it in half or something, or shorten it up. I believe that was a 25-foot long hose, which is basically overkill. So what I'll do, we'll just take the water, recycle it back into the pump, and just put that there. Put our head in there for right now. Turn our pump back on. And there's your shower. Something tells me that water is probably a little warmer. It's still warm. It's not like bath water. That feels even warmer than it did before. That right there would feel very good in the mountains, taking a shower and getting cleaned up. Now I'm going to let that run a second. You can see how quickly the 5-gallon bucket drains its water. Let me get the heat gun. 73. So the heat exchanger is heating up. We're cycling our water, but keep in mind we put warmer water in here, and when we did, that went from 32 to 51. Now, obviously, you're probably not going to be camping where your water is going to be 32 degrees like we started with, and that's why I did that, to find out how much water, or how quickly the water would heat up. Remember, we were at 32 degrees. We were at almost freezing water, and now we're down, you know, to 64 originally, and that right there is comfortable. If this water was 50 or 60 degrees, this would probably be too hot. So we'll turn that off, because we'll let that run. Just experiment. Let's just say this water is now 67 degrees, so we're warming up this water. 66.6. Still 66, and it's getting slick. So what are we doing? We'll hook this up. Let that cycle through. Our pump, you can't even hear the pump. Of course, you can't hear it over the squeaky belt. Got a little air pocket somewhere. We get our air out of the hose. So our soaker ball sucked in some air. You see the steam, so you know that's hot. You know it's cold out here. About 24, 25 degrees right now. You can see how awfully fast it pulls the water out of your water source. So if you're going to use a 5-gallon can or a 5-gallon bucket, a jerry can or something, you definitely want a head that you can turn it off, get showered up, and then rinse off and have a nice warm shower. That is really warm. Let that run a second. We went from 66 degrees, and we'll see what this water comes out at. Now we're at 84 degrees. So if this was summertime and you're camping in the mountains and you're 50 or 60 degrees, your water source, there's 86 degrees. So you can tell that that heat exchanger puts out a lot of heat, but you can tell our source pump's working good. So we heated that water up. We've recycled this water 4 times. It's 80 degrees. So you kind of get the idea. And there's 91.6. There's almost 92 degree water. So you're in the mountains, you're pulling from a stream. I doubt it would be 32 degrees, but either way. And this head also, get a shower saver head. Don't get one that, this is 2.5 gallons per minute, and the pump's only rated for 3 gallons a minute. So as fast as it's drawn, it's pulling out. And that water is almost too hot. That's almost too hot to touch. We recycled it 3 times. So there you have it. That's our portable hot water shower that we have built for off-roading, camping, four-wheeling, whatever. Okay, so just real quick, we're going to go ahead and disconnect our quick disconnect coupler. We'll pull that off. This should be drain our hose. We've got an awful lot of water in there. Let that sit there, drain our hose, pull our final slip and fall, disconnect from our water source, from our pump. Drain that. There's that. Disconnect our hose from our soaker ball. This hose could be a little longer if you want. Again, it just depends on your water source and where you're getting your water from. Take that ball off. Water drained. Hose is empty. It's all hot water. Put your soaker ball back on. And that drains too. There's nothing in it. It's totally empty. And there's your system. Your system's put together. We unclamp our pump, put our pump away. Nothing to do here with the heat exchanger under the hood. And you're done in less than a minute. Thanks for watching.